Heather Staff, 10 free valuations. Why did you choose the one estate agent that you sold your house with? Talk to me.
Oh, God. Yeah, so I know 10 valuations is wrong, but it was market research, and I thought I'm only going to move out of central London once. So what made me choose the agent that we went with? To be honest, we got such a spread of valuations, which I was astounded about. Some massive undervaluations as well versus what we actually sold it for, which I find also fascinating. What made me go with the agent? Well, she gave a very, very polished pitch. I think trust as well. Like we both, me and my husband, inherently trusted what she was saying. She seemed to know what she was talking about. I have to say, from the moment that we met that agency as a whole, it was extremely polished. So I actually went into the branch, old school. I was greeted with smiles by everybody. The guy closest to the door stood up. I said, "Hi, have a seat, read our magazine, let me get you a coffee." It was just a lovely experience. And then before I'd even, talked about the fact of what I wanted to do, I sort of understood a bit about the ethos of their company. I also really liked what they said that they would do in terms of a strategy of selling our home, which a lot of them didn't touch on.
Did you go to the offices of the other firms that you went to?
No, that was just a coincidence that I went to that one.
Do you think it would have been different if you hadn't been there?
No, because her pitch was far better as well, because my husband didn't have that first experience of walking into the branch.
So did your husband have the same experience with the pitches?
Yeah, so he was blank canvas, just the pictures in the house. And he was also of the opinion that...
So again, we're not mentioning the names here, but what was so good about the pitch?
For me, her valuation matched up with what we thought the value of the house was, whereas some were wildly over and some were just wildly under. And then she explained her strategy. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get the best photography. We have a professional photographer, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do a 3D tour. We're going to do an Instagram and Facebook video. And then we will basically not allow any viewings for 2 weeks. So we'll build up loads and loads of demand, and then it will be shoulder to shoulder. And I just on a Saturday morning, and I liked that approach. It resonated with both me and my husband. Very confident, not too salesy, and followed up straight away the next day. That's what I liked about it.
And the others just didn't do that?
They did, but not to the same extent.
Okay, so what advice, we don't want to mention names, what advice would you give to the other 9 estate agents on how to be better?
Great question. I think some of them, the valuations were way out, which immediately, as soon as somebody says a number that you think is totally unrealistic, as in unrealistically high, for us, that was just like, no. So they were almost immediately out because I just didn't trust what they were saying. And then I think there was a lot of, this is the valuation, do you want to go with us? It wasn't like, this is how we're going to approach the sale of your home.
So you felt that this agent you did choose actually looked at your property and came up with a dedicated marketing plan as opposed to, our fees are this is our service.
Correct.
See you bye.
Yeah. And the other thing that resonated was that our house was slightly different to the houses in the area. So the houses in the area are typically Victorian, and ours was a converted warehouse. So coming in with comparables to us, I was a bit like, I know why, but I don't know if that's necessarily accurate because it's not a direct comparable to one next door. And this agent got that, and she said, this is difficult because blah, blah, blah. It's different. So this is why I think we should go on at this price and try this. And there was just a bit of logic behind it.
Interesting. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
I found being a consumer on how much time have we got?
All the time in the world.
Okay. I found being on the receiving end of this absolutely fascinating, and I actually made notes throughout the entire process of what it felt like to be on the end of this. And the only way I can describe it, my agent could not have done anything better, by the way, she was unbelievable. But you get so excited before you list. So your excitement levels are up here when you're getting valuations. Then you pick your agent, your excitement levels are still up here. Then you see the photos and it makes your house look twice as big as it actually is. So your excitement's up here. Then it goes on Rightmove and Zoopla and you're up here. And then it's like, poof, drop, because you don't know what's going on. And unless you become like a you know, my agent was amazing, they called me all the time, but I know that a lot of agents don't do that, and suddenly you're in the dark selling your biggest tax-free asset and you don't have that visibility. And I think for most people that must, and I know this industry, and both parents are estate agents, it's quite scary. And I think it must be so easy in this industry to forget how scary it is for home movers doing this. And a bit of empathy during the pitch and throughout, I think, goes a really long way.
Thank you for your time today.
Cheers, Chris.